Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Wednesday night Loving Kindness Meditation. My name is Alex. It is wonderful to be here with you this Wednesday evening here in lovely Encinitas, which is where I'm recording from or streaming from, I should say. And yeah, everything is well, and I hope you are well too, and you're ready for this wonderful practice of loving kindness. We've been doing this for a while, and it's going to continue on just for a little while longer. I'm not exactly sure when we're going to open the temple up. We know that a lot of other spiritual and religious places have opened up. Okay, and that's fine. And so we're going to go ahead and just to make sure we're absolutely 100% safe, because in Buddhist practice, it's all about non-harming, and that's our big thing in not harming. The motto of the Dharma Bum Temple is think good thoughts, speak good words, do good deeds, right? And non-harming is the basis of everything that we do, and so we don't want to in any way even potentially endanger anybody. And so we're not going to open until we feel, I have nothing to do with it, until Jeff feels it's safe to open. Okay. And Alan says, hello, I'm trying to learn more about Buddhism and adopt new practices. How do you recommend me to begin? Well, Alan, thank you so much and welcome. I'm so happy that you're here. Let me just say that. And hi, Eric, and hi, Jean. Eric, I would suggest going to not only this class, I would suggest watching Jeff's class on either Tuesday night or Saturday morning at 11. Travis has a class tomorrow at the same time on Thursdays. And, just kind of look around and kind of see what you like and kind of what you get into. There's so many resources. If you go to our website, there's a lot of resources, just thedharmabums.org. And reading lists and recommended different types of things that you can look at. Just know that there are different schools of Buddhism, and so different places you will check out may seem a little bit different, and that's okay, right? It's just a different school of Buddhism that originated in a different country, and because it originated in a different country, there's a lot of that cultural part of the Buddhism that's part of that school. So it's okay. It's all good, and just I encourage you to bring along your sense of adventure and your sense of curiosity. And yeah, absolutely. We're so glad to have you here. And what we're going to do here is just a little bit of loving kindness, which I'm going to explain in just a little bit. First, everybody knows that they should say hello when they log in and they log into this class. So hello to Alan, as I said, and Eric, and then Jean and Lisa and Marisa. So wonderful to have you back, Marisa. Tyler, hello, Tyler. Have you been to this class before? I don't remember. Maybe you have, but I don't know. That's so fantastic. Hi, Tyler. And hi, Tamara. So wonderful. Thank you so much for the lovely message earlier. It always warms my heart when I receive those from you. So thank you so much. Okay. Well, so since we have, Alan said that he was new, and I'm going to do a little bit of an explainer on this class that we have here. Is anybody else that maybe didn't say hello, are you new? Hello, Robert. Robert, are you new too? Or have you been to a class at the Dharma Bum Temple before? Well, while we're waiting for that, it doesn't, not entirely. Okay, that's fine. All right. So, what we're going to do is we're going to have this little explainer and maybe talk a little bit, and then we're going to go ahead and do our practice of loving kindness. I didn't remember your name, Tyler. Thank you. Welcome, Tyler, from Hillcrest. So soon you'll be able to come in person. Again, we were talking about, we don't know when that is exactly, but things are getting better. I think the numbers are going in the right direction. Our positivity rate is super duper low, and you know, people are getting vaccinated, and the more people who get vaccinated, the better off we're going to be. Um, May the 4th, yesterday, was my 2 weeks after I got my second Moderna shot, and which means I'm fully vaccinated. So I loved being officially fully vaccinated on May the 4th. I thought that was a good sign, and yeah. So the more people who get vaccinated, the better. All right, so let's go do this. All right, so in this practice of loving kindness, really the word that we're talking about is this word called, oh, wonderful, Benton, lovely, is this word called metta, M-E-T-T-A, metta. And this word metta comes from the ancient Pali language, P-A-L-I. And Pali was a liturgical language that was spoken, or pretty close to what we think the historical Buddha spoke. And when a word comes from 2,500 years ago, when it gets translated into English, this word is actually a really rich word, because translated into English can mean a lot of different things. So it can mean loving kindness, unconditional friendliness, simply goodwill. And depending on who you do this practice for, these different translations could really, really come in handy. And it's simply a wish to be happy. And not only a wish for ourselves and for others to be happy, but a wish for ourselves and others to do the things that cause happiness. And so what causes happiness? All right. Well, our skillful and well-intentioned thoughts, words, and deeds, those things cause happiness, right? So like I said earlier in the class, think good thoughts, speak good words, do good deeds. Those are the things that cause happiness. And so those are a wonderful place to start. So Alan, when talking about, where do you start? That's a wonderful place to start. Okay. And of course, there's more to it. The Dharma is, just incredible. In the Buddhist Dharma, it's said to be 84,000 teachings. 84,000 teachings. 82,000 come from the Buddha himself, and 2,000 supposedly come from other enlightened monks. So 84,000 in total. And if you take a look at the different schools of Buddhism and all the different sutras they have, yeah, it makes sense. I don't know if it's 84,000, but it's certainly a lot. Okay. All right. So, any questions before we start? I'm going to get into my meditation position. You see, I have a freshly shaved head, and so I'm ready to start. I'm going to get a little sip of my water. So, for a couple of new people, if you're sitting on a cushion, you just want to make sure that your seat is actually higher than your legs in the cross-legged position, and your back is nice and straight. Now, this is for everybody. If you're sitting or everybody sitting in a chair, if you're sitting in a chair, just make sure your feet are close. Your legs are next to each other, just a few inches apart, and your feet are on the floor, flat on the floor. Your hands can really be anywhere that's comfortable. I put them in my lap or in my legs. And again, my back is nice and straight. So I'm really kind of straightening my back here from my core. So my core is engaged just a little bit, right? Just to help keep my back straight. So I'm not leaning against the back of the chair, so I can really just kind of focus on what I'm doing. And my head is nice and straight, maybe even tucking the chin under just a little bit if you want, just to extend the spine just a little bit. And the eyes, guys, the eyes can be closed, the eyes can be open, the eyes can be, just make sure that you're comfortable whatever you're doing, right? So usually in the West, it's easier just to close your eyes. So I just close my eyes, and that's fine. But you could experiment. It could be maybe like they're half open. A lot of times If you have a candle, if you're meditating, there's a candle in front of you. You can look at the candle and watch the candle flickering and contemplate impermanence, or watching, if you have like some incense going down, as it burns down, you can contemplate impermanence as well. But for our benefit, for our example here, we're just going to close our eyes, or just do whatever is easiest for you to do. Or I'm going to close my eyes. Okay, so I'm going to get my handy dandy timer here. All right. And it doesn't look like there's any questions before we start. For our new people, I'm going to guide this. So you just have to listen to what I'm saying and just kind of follow along. We're going to do this in a few stages. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do loving kindness for our benefactor. And I'll explain that in the instructions. And then we're going to imagine our benefactor doing this practice for us. And then we're going to do loving kindness for us. And then we're going to do loving kindness for all beings in all directions. So that is this kind of way we're going to do it here. And this is going to be amazing. So, let's just cultivate this really positive attitude. And don't struggle with anything. All right? Here we go, guys. So just allow your eyes to close, making sure you have that sustainable seat so that you're nice and comfortable, secure, not likely to move around too much. And when we sit like a Buddha. And you can even imagine yourselves as a Buddha sitting underneath your own tree of enlightenment. Each Buddha has their own tree of enlightenment. So maybe yours is the oak tree of enlightenment, or the sequoia of enlightenment, or the redwood of enlightenment. And you can imagine yourself sitting underneath whatever tree you choose, ready for the task at hand to cultivate loving kindness in your own heart. And let's just gently start to pay attention to the breath. So let's just take a deep breath all the way in and all the way out. Not forcing the breath now, letting it be quite easy and quite natural. During the meditation, if you find your mind kind of gets lost in thought, just note it and say to yourself, thinking. Just the act of saying thinking will snap the mind back to the present moment, even if it's just for a little bit. And then your job when that happens is just to notice how much more at peace your mind feels when it's more in the present than stuck in some sort of memory or fantasy. And so before we begin our official practice of loving kindness, let's just get connected with the breath, breathing in and breathing out. So just for the next few moments, just rest as gently as you can in the sensations of the breath. And so, to begin our practice of loving kindness, we're first going to choose a benefactor. And a benefactor is anyone who has shown us great love and great kindness. Someone it's easy to have these feelings of loving kindness for because we remember what they have meant to us. And you can choose one or more. That's okay. They could be living or not. It's okay. And just think about their own wish to be happy, their own wish to be safe, their own wish to be healthy, free from danger. And the only thing that you have to do is just picture them in your mind's eye and just radiate loving kindness out to them. And however you understand that word, I like to imagine a beam of loving kindness coming from my heart and going to theirs. And sometimes this beam is warm or maybe cool or maybe vibrating a little bit and pulsing. But that's just me. And so however you understand that word radiate, just radiate loving kindness to this person or these people. These thinking these warm, loving thoughts. For the next few moments, we're just going to go ahead and do this practice of loving kindness for our benefactor. Now shifting our focus just a little bit from loving kindness for our benefactor to now we're going to imagine our benefactor doing this practice for us. And however you radiated loving kindness to your benefactor or benefactors, you can imagine them doing it the same way to you, radiating loving kindness to you. And your only job to receive this loving kindness into your heart. Receive all of it. If you feel any resistance, any part of your heart that says, no, I can't let this in. There's some pushback. That's okay. Can you then breathe and send some energy into that part of the heart that has resistance? And can you soften, even if it's just a little bit? If you can, great. If you can't, great. Just move on. It's okay. It helps sometimes to put your hand over your heart so you can feel any resistance whatsoever. So, for the next few moments, we'll imagine our benefactor doing this practice of loving kindness for us. And so now you come to what is could be the most important part of this meditation is having and doing this practice for ourselves. And so sometimes this is hard for people, and I understand, but you are worthy of loving kindness. Everyone just wants to be happy, yourself included. So why should all these other people have loving kindness and but not you? Of course you should have it too. This is the most important because if you can't really have loving kindness for yourself, it's really hard to have loving kindness for another because you don't have that experience of loving kindness in your own heart. So that's why this is so important. So just call to mind your own wish to be happy, your own wish to be safe, protected, healthy. And you can either imagine, kind of radiating loving kindness to yourself or just imagining your own heart getting bigger because of all the loving kindness you're generating for yourself on the inside. Or you can just say phrases of loving kindness, one or more, to yourself and just repeat those over and over. And you can choose phrases like, may I be happy. May I be safe from inner and outer danger. May I be well in body and mind. May I be at peace and live at ease in this world. And you can say that or any phrase that has a loving and kind intention behind it. Just feeling any resistance and not fighting against it. And breathe into it. It's okay. It's normal to have some resistance. So for the next few moments, we'll do this practice of loving kindness for ourselves. And so that's a lot of loving kindness so far. And now finally, we can explore the limitless quality of the heart, because the heart does have a limitless quality. And we can do this practice for all beings in all directions. No matter what beings there may be, short, small, medium, tall, large, near or far, wherever they may be, may all beings be at ease. And just slowly from your heart, just go out slowly and more, and just a little bit more, and go out as far as you can with the understanding that the heart has this limitless quality. It doesn't matter how far you get out, just go out as far as you can. And so, for the next few moments, to end our meditation, we'll do this practice of loving kindness for all beings in all directions. just open your eyes when you're ready. And just take the next 45 seconds to stretch your arms and your legs, keeping those thoughts of loving kindness about you while you do so, and then we'll get started. If you have a question, comment, I'm always happy to hear it. I always want to know how you're doing today, what you've been dealing with. I want to know what this experience of meditation was like for you. I want to know if you have any questions on the instructions, any questions about Buddhism. Like Alan had asked earlier on, that's a great question to start with. Anything you might want to share. I love to hear those different types of things, and it really helps to kind of help me engage with you. I'm doing pretty well. I had a conversation with a coworker, and he was saying that we think we're gonna, because I work at a small company, so he thinks that we're gonna just stay small, and stay working from home even after everything is over. Downsize the office we have now just to have some essential people to go in there if we need to go in there for whatever reason. But if you don't, then we're just gonna stay here. And so I kind of freaked out a little bit, because although that sounds good on the surface, I've been in this kind of temporary thing, the whole time I've been working at home, where I just work at my kitchen table on my laptop. So I don't, while I have a whole other room in my home that I have dedicated to anything that's not sleeping. So whether it's meditating or working. And so I think now I have to get busy to kind of set everything up and make it all permanent. And that's actually good. But anyway, that's all I really had. Again, I always want to hear from you and know how you're doing, and everything's, Lisa said, really beautiful practice. I needed it tonight. Yeah, me too. Yeah, Jean says, I have many coworkers in India, and with the COVID situation there, I found myself doing metta for all of India. Yeah, it's really awful. It's truly, utterly awful what's happening in India. And I talked a lot about it last week, about just how terrible it is. Obviously, it's not better. It's, so certain things are happening, but it's going to be a while for them to kind of ramp up to everything. And in the meantime, things are going to get really, really bad. It's like, people are dying every 4 minutes, and that's just the ones we know about. So it's probably 20 or 30 times that of what we don't know about. And that's really upsetting. And when you think about that, and then when you think about the practice that we're doing, it's tailor-made. It's tailor-made for something like that. And, it might be just too overwhelming thinking about all the people in India that are sick, and thinking of their families, what they must be going through. And if it is that's perfectly understandable. You can do it for all of the people in India, and you can do it for just, people that you've heard about in India. Just open your heart as much as you can. Because it's a very terrifying situation of what's going on there. And there's some exciting things that have happened today, like the U.S. has said that they were in favor of opening the patents up, so making the patents free, so they can just go in there quickly and make more vaccines for these people so we can get them into a better state. And so hope, but again, that takes time, even if that happens. So who knows if that's going to happen or not. And so I keep abreast of that. I mean, how can you not? And Gene, absolutely. I mean, I've been thinking a lot about that too. And whatever, if whatever meditation that you do, whatever dedication of merit that you do, for the next while, if you could, it would be really wonderful if you could, dedicate that to, the people of India, and so for their safety and for their health. And Robert says, I've practiced with Shinzan and Jihang out of Sweetwater Encinitas for 2+ years. I've been missing Sit, so it's good to be able to reconnect. Lovely. Thank you, Robert. Welcome. Yeah. Shinzan. Yeah. I don't know who Jihang is, but yeah, I'm great. Yeah, I see. I think for a while Shinzan actually was out of Encinitas, out of the Chapel of Awareness that's on 3rd and like East Street here in Encinitas. I know I've been there several times. But not for the Zen Sit, but yeah, it's a very, very nice place. Absolutely. And it's nice actually for someone to go up in North County. A lot of the places to go to in San Diego are like in the city of San Diego and like down like Sweetwater area and stuff like that. So it's nice to have something a little bit of something in North County. And North County Coastal is nice too. I live here in Encinitas, so yeah, it's wonderful to go there. I haven't seen Shinzan, but I kind of stalk him a little bit on Facebook, so he seems to be doing okay, I think. So kind of hard to tell sometimes. All right, guys. If you have anything, happy to hear it. Questions, comments, what you going through? What you going through? What are you going through, guys? What's happening with you? You don't have to tell me if you don't want. Don't feel pressured. Sorry, it's chronic sinusitis. One of the things, I'll tell you what's going on with me just a little bit. And the other part of that kind of concerned me a little bit when my coworker said, yeah, we're probably just going to make this work at home thing permanent because a lot of people are more productive. I don't know if I'm more productive. I'm just as productive, I guess. Is that I, as an introvert, and I've talked a lot about how I'm an introvert and I am an introvert, I like people more than maybe I thought. Or like being around people maybe more than I thought. Yes, I need my alone time, but one of the things that being alone a lot here has shown me is like, yeah, I need a little more people time sometimes. And it's amazing how that kind of affects your mental health just a little bit. When the pandemic kind of first happened and we all went into lockdown, March of last year, March 19th. It was awesome. Oh my God, you guys, it was so nice. It was so nice. I loved it. I was still living at the temple, and so I could just get up and take my shower and just like do my morning meetings and just have the rest of the time by myself. And I had a big living area, and I could just do my thing, and I can clean the temple, and which I did. That temple was clean for a long time because I did a lot of cleaning, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. But now as time goes by, it's like, yeah, I need more people. I need more people. That's why I like it, when you like ask questions and things like that, it just kind of helps me a lot. I don't make it I don't want to make this all about me. But Robert says, I can always use more focus and motivation to reorganize, clean my garage. Yeah, I hear what you mean. Oh my God. The thing about cleaning in the temple was that, the temple's a big temple. It's 5,000 square feet, and I cleaned like 4,000 square feet of it. Um, and so I got super sweaty, and but I felt really invigorated afterwards. Uh, and I just feel better when I do that. I should probably go out for a walk more. Hmm. And I think, the thing about one of the things I've been, I think about is kind of re-examining how I teach meditation, and how I teach Buddhism, and kind of thinking about, do I do this the right way for me? I mean, I did a while ago because I thought this was the right way for me, and do I do it again, and have how things have changed, and how has this pandemic changed me, and how has this pandemic changed others, which is why I always want to know exactly like how you're doing and what's going on, and how you're relating things, and I stalk several people. I stalk several of you who are my friends on Facebook. Um, Not literally stalk, but I see what's going on, and things like that. Um, and I think I like it. I like the way that I do it. Not that I can't improve, or do things a little bit better of a way, but you know, my overarching just kind of goal is to really to be easy and kind um, to everybody, and not be so rigid as far as practice goes. Some schools are incredibly rigid. Even in the Theravada school where I grew up, where I got most of my education, they're actually relatively rigid too. They're super rigid sometimes. And I'm just not. And I think one of the reasons that I'm not, and one of the reasons that I do this loving kindness the way that I do it, is because um, the standard way we do loving kindness is you do it for yourself first, then you go from your heart, you go out just a little bit more to people you love, and then neutral people, then the enemy, and then all beings. And then you bring it back to yourself, right? And that seems like a really natural progression if you grew up in a Buddhist culture. It's a natural progression because it assumes that you have a lot of loving kindness for yourself because you were taught this at an early age, and so you've kind of grown up with it, so it's really natural for you. It's not natural for us. That's not the way the people in the West, that's not the way we grew up. That's not the way we were raised. That's not the way that our culture has conditioned us. And so it's really, really hard for us. And like when you're in college and you take like maybe like math 101, but you can't take math 101 because you don't meet all the requirements, and so you have to meet some other requirements, so you have to take like math 55 or math 56 or math 78 or something like that. I don't know. You know where I'm going. um, as far as Buddhism goes, that's what we need to do here, and there's nothing wrong with it. We need to start from a different place. Sometimes we need to start with making things a little bit easier because we weren't conditioned. Our culture didn't train us the way that it should have trained us. And so we have to be a lot easier on ourselves. We have to be a lot kinder to ourselves. We have to understand how to be generous, how to be kind. You know, we have to think about our intentions when we're kind. Why are we being kind? Are we being kind just because we have to be kind, or are we being kind because we want to be kind, because we know, um, because we know the benefits of kindness, not only for ourselves but for others? And so, I think I kind of start back a little bit from the 101s, just because maybe that's where I need to start in a lot of ways. I know I needed to start there. I've been doing this for like 13 years now, I think. Yeah, 13 years almost. And I like this. I see the people who come in, and I see the people who I talk to, and I see so much of their pain. And especially now, it's even worse during a pandemic, and it's even worse now, like for the people in India, for example. And, I follow a lot of people on Twitter, med Twitter for the medical folks on Twitter. I'm not a doctor, but I love following them because they're really smart people. And, a lot of them are Indian, and the stories that they're relating are just like a couple of days ago. It's like, I can't take this anymore. It's just fucking breaking my heart so much to hear these stories of their relatives, and my heart just going out to them, going out to their families. When hearing this, and it was kind of like a little bit of a validation of like, yeah, we need to start in this country, in this culture, with really just softening our heart as much as humanly possible, because it is for a lot of us, it's just so hardened, and sometimes we know it and sometimes we don't. And what I found with myself, with my practice, is I'm uncovering a lot of this stuff a lot. And I feel that's good, because then I guess my practice is meaning something. I'm finding out more about myself, and it might be messy and not pleasant all of the time, but I want to know. I want to know, as ugly as it is, I want to know, because I need to be able to do something about that. And a lot of this preliminary training really, really, really helps, so that when I feel like this, when I feel, bad about myself or whatever, that I can immediately go to a place of, no. We're not going to do the same thing that we've always done and feel sorry for myself and feel bad about myself. I'm going to respond differently, and I'm going to respond with loving kindness. And I have these tools that I have and that I've taught and that I use, to kind of get myself out of these funks, and, I'm grateful for the life that I have. I can't even believe that I have the life that I have. I'll be perfectly honest, because I have no idea how I got here. But I'm grateful that I got here wherever I'm at. And, I hope that, and I hope that, you guys, I mean, if there's something you want me to talk about, I'm always happy to talk about it. Like, if you say, Alex, I want to know more about generosity. Let's talk about generosity. Yeah, I want to know more about any topic, even though this is a loving kindness class. This is a Buddhism class. I'm happy to do that if you have any requests. So, something to think about. I'm glad that it was kind of barren a little bit last week. I have a list of, I know how many people are watching, and so I'm glad there are more people watching. I was wondering that people were getting just kind of sick and tired of coming to a Zoom class, because the pandemic seems to be over and more people are actually going in person to places, and it's like spiritual places and churches and whatnot. But the one thing that I'm seeing is I really admire more stories. Oh, I could do more stories. Oh my God, more stories. You know what? You know what I like to do? And this is really good. I will do like Sariputra's story. I will do, because you've heard, like, I think everyone's heard Angulimala like 1,000 times, but it's called the Mahaparinirvana Sutra, which is the Buddha's last days. It's not like it's the Buddha's last year. It's like his farewell tour, which is essentially what it is, right? So the last year of his life. It's like, other than like his enlightenment story, his like life, birth to enlightenment story. I'm 2 minutes behind. Yeah, I like the heart softening. Thank you, Eric. But we can do more stories too. I like more stories. You know how much I love telling a story. So we can do that too. The Mahaparinirvana Sutra is fabulous. It's just fabulous. And so I'm happy to do that. That'll take actually more than one class. It'll probably take like 2 or 3. Almost 2. But anyway, yeah. You guys, I always love coming here, and I love doing this, and I love it when you say hi, and I love it when new people say hi and kind of tell me what's going on with them and what's going on with you and what's going on with me. And I just love it, and I'm going to continue to do it. And I don't know. I mean, that's all I really have for today. I hope you all are doing well. And so let's join our palms together around our hearts, please. And may the benefits of this practice, this discussion, be received by all beings in all directions. May all beings be free from suffering. May all beings be at peace. May all beings be joyful and at ease. May all beings be happy. May all beings be loved and seen for the beautiful, radiant beings that they are, that you are. Thank you for coming, guys. It was wonderful to have you. I love all of you, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and week. And I will see you 7 p.m. next Wednesday. Bye now. Good night.